Let's say the quiet part out loud on this podcast. And that is AI, it's not taking your job, but it is making it very obvious if you are not adding value. And I know that sounds harsh. And I know that sometimes in these solo episodes, I just like to give it to you straight, and that can sound a little bit too direct. But I have been talking about AI within customer success and technology since 2023, actually. So I have recorded podcasts around AI for a while. But if you are in customer success right now, you are probably feeling this unbelievable shift that is happening within our industry and specifically within the Department of Customer Success. Because suddenly, things that used to take up most of our day, well, AI can do it in seconds. Now, if you are listening to this recording in April or in May of 2026, then you probably realize there are tools like Claude Code or Claude Cowork or OpenClaw and all of these other AI tools that are basically just hacking our brains and doing our job in seconds. Now, I mean things like emails, follow-ups, call summaries, basic account insights, data, dashboards, all of these things done. And like I said, it is seconds for AI to do it. So the real question really becomes, what is actually left for you as the customer success pro to actually do? Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Anika Zubair, and welcome to the Customer Success Pro podcast, your go-to space for real talk, expert advice, and actionable insights in the world of customer success. I'm a CS executive leader, award-winning strategist, CS coach, and customer success fanatic. I help CSMs and CS leaders build the skills and the confidence to become revenue-driving pros and scale world-class CS teams. So whether you're brand new to CS or a seasoned leader, this podcast is here to support your growth. Because customer success isn't a destination, it's a journey. And I'm here to be your guide and navigate every step of your journey. So join me every Wednesday where you'll get fresh CS tips, tricks, and strategies you can actually use. Some weeks I'll share my own insights and best practices from working in CS over the last 13 years. And once a month, I'll bring on expert guests to dive into the most relevant and pressing topics in customer success today. So if you're ready to level up, hit subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in, and let's make your CS journey a little bit easier together. So right now, AI is no longer a nice to have in customer success. It truly is enabled into most of our workflows. I mean, heck, I'm guessing every single one of the tools that you have in your tech stack at your job has some sort of AI component built into it. Either they have an AI bot, chat support, some sort of AI automation within the tool you're using, or maybe they've done what a lot of SaaS tools have done recently, which is they have rebranded into an AI tool. That one's the really funny one, by the way. There are so many software tools out there, and I get to see lots of them. I'm an advisor to some companies, and as someone who works with global companies around the world, I see a lot of tools before they even get released or right when they are getting released. And it's just really funny to see so many tools that have existed for 5-10 years now suddenly rebrand to an AI tool. And then every new tool that's hitting the market, by the way, in 2026 and probably for the next year or so, is being branded as an AI tool. It is embedded in everything that we are doing in customer success. I'm guessing your CRM, whether it's Salesforce, HubSpot, or anything in between, it has AI built into it. I'm almost sure that every customer success platform out there is using AI as well, by the way. Like AI isn't embedded into most customer success platforms out there. Every single one I've seen has using AI. And let's not forget all of your calls that are being recorded, summarized, and analyzed automatically, whether it's Gong or Fathom or any other tool out there. All of that is AI too. And companies, by the way, They are no longer impressed by AI features. They care about one thing. And that one thing is ROI, or return on investment. They are asking the harder questions, basically asking us in renewal conversations or in QBRs. They are asking us questions like, is this making us more efficient? Or is this helping us retain our customers? Or is this helping us expand into new markets? And that is because the role of a customer success manager or anyone that's a customer success professional is changing so fast. And I know the AI whiplash, it's exhausting. Trust me, I wake up every single day realizing there is a million and one things that AI is doing that is slowly replacing me. But at the same time, I also know that AI can only do so much. And my customers and my clients are looking to my lived in experience and my expertise and my ability to critically think and really understand and read the room to be able to truly be a strategic partner to them. And that is the role that customer success is becoming in this world of AI. And the uncomfortable truth that all of us are hearing, but probably trying to steer away from, is for years, a lot of customer success work has been admin work. We have been, in some ways, glorified assistants or glorified admin workers. We've been reactive, we've been process driven. And now that AI is stripping all of that away, which is great, by the way, I do think it's extremely powerful. It means that your value as a customer success professional was based on things like how quickly you could send follow-ups and how you were running your status calls and how you were building reporting on usage and output. All of those things now are being done by AI. So of course you have AI whiplash. Of course you're starting to feel replaceable. And that is where the panic is truly coming from. And it is wild to see everyone that I meet feel very fearful of what AI is capable of and what it's going to do when it comes to replacing our roles. And I just want to be crystal clear. AI is not replacing a customer success manager. I hope you realize that everything I share on this podcast, everything that I share in general with the content that we create here on the Customer Success Pro, is about leveling you up as an individual, as a human that's able to drive value and be truly strategic when it comes to the businesses that you decide to work in and the customers you decide to work with. And I really like to just clarify that AI is not replacing customer success managers, but it is exposing, by the way, what was never strategic to begin with. So if you have been in a customer success manager role or in a CS leadership role, and you've been told, make sure NPS is high, or make sure the customers are happy, or make sure you have enough calls with your customers, or make sure you write enough follow-ups or build enough reports, you need to run away from that job. And I say that with so much love and kindness, but that job is going to be replaced by AI. And it's going to happen in a matter of time. Who knows when? With AI, it could be tomorrow. But all of those things within those roles that I just said, whether it's tracking happiness or tracking NPS or making sure that your customers show up to a call or tracking the number of business reviews you're having with a customer, all of those are activities. And as you know, activity is faster with AI. Like AI can do those things way faster. So if you are doing those roles right now and you think that that's going to be the future of your role, I'm sorry to say your role was never strategic. It was never strategic to begin with. And unfortunately, your leadership team, whether it be your direct leaders or the C-suite or the board, they were all just tracking your activity, which is much easier to do, by the way. It is the easier thing to track. But unfortunately, in this world of AI, tracking activity is no longer valuable because AI does it in seconds. And again, I want to iterate that this podcast is not meant to be fear-mongering. It's not meant to make you feel uncomfortable that AI is coming for your job. As I said at the very start of this episode, AI is not taking your job. It is not. But it might take the jobs of those people that never had the strategic customer success manager role. That's a job AI might take. Quick pause because this episode might be hitting a little close to home. If AI is already taking over the admin, the follow-ups, the notes, the insights, then what's left for your customer success team? And more importantly, are they actually trained to do that job? Because the reality is AI is not replacing customer success, but it is exposing where teams are stuck in task mode, feature selling, and reactive conversations. And that is where most teams are really struggling right now. They've got tools, they've got the data, but they have not got the commercial skills to turn that into revenue. Now imagine something different, a team that knows how to lead a strategic conversation, confidently tie value to business outcomes, and walk into every renewal and expansion conversation with a clear point of view. That is exactly what we do in our live workshops. We train your CS team to move from reactive to strategic, from activity to impact, and from support to a true revenue driver within your company. So if you're listening and thinking, yeah, we need to level up, go ahead and head over to the customersuccesspro.com/team-event. That's the customersuccesspro.com/team-event. And let's train your team to do customer success the right way. All right, all the links are in the show notes, and let's get back into the episode. And I just want to point out two examples of where AI has not taken jobs, but has actually made industry or the role better. Now, I was recently reading that AI has been implemented into IKEA. I'm pretty sure everyone listening knows what IKEA is. It's a global brand. Everyone likes flat pack furniture, and it's something that you can buy, I think, in almost every country around the world. Like, IKEA furniture is everywhere. And also, IKEA food is great. If you've never had IKEA food, I love it. Anyways, I am getting off topic. What I want to talk to you about how AI was embedded within IKEA. Now, IKEA has a customer service arm, of course, and people ask questions like, oh, my furniture broke on the way home, or it was misdelivered, or I need help with XYZ. And all this time, IKEA was using humans to do their customer support and customer service, which has been great. But in the world of AI, now IKEA has actually built AI models and AI bots that actually answer all the customer service and customer inquiries in general, right? So now what it has done is it's freed up all of this time and space, which, as you're listening, you're probably like, oh my gosh, that means all those people that had those customer service jobs lost their jobs. But they didn't. The thing is, IKEA always wanted to be in like home design or interior design, I should say. And they wanted everyone that worked within IKEA to help their customers design their dream kitchen or design their dream closet on the budget that makes sense for them. So they took all the roles within customer service and they started training people to become their interior designers, essentially. But they've also, because there was a gap in skills between people who worked in customer support and people who understand design and the aesthetics of design and all the principles of design, what they did is they actually made these people interior designers with the help of AI next to them. So AI did take part of their job in the sense that they are no longer answering questions from customers, but it opened up a whole new avenue of a role within IKEA that made strategic sense for the business and strategic sense for their employees. But I digress. I'm not here to talk to you about IKEA and how they've embedded AI. I want to talk about how we really feel in customer success that AI is replacing us or going to replace us. And there are some big mistakes that I see happening out there and a lot of conversations that I've been having. And I hear a lot of people say the wrong thing when it comes to AI. And I'm no AI expert, but I just want to call out that if you're doing some of these things, you're probably hurting yourself more than helping. And the first thing that I hear a lot of people talk about is they're using AI to do more instead of doing better. So what they may be doing is, okay, let's use AI to scale the number of customer emails that we're sending out, or the number of touch points, or more summaries to business reviews to executives, or more content for our customers to consume and use our product. But none of that is actually moving the customer forward. Let's just think about that for a second. Imagine you were the customer and suddenly the product you've decided to purchase embeds AI and is sending you more emails, more summaries, more product content, all of this stuff. Are you going to want that? Probably not. Honestly, content is exhausting these days. Like, I know that you are listening to this podcast right now, and I'm super grateful that you are, but there is tons of content out there. AI is making it possible for us to create more and more and more. And your customer doesn't want more. They actually don't. They do not want more emails and more summaries and more value reviews. Like, AI should not be increasing the volume of work we're doing. It should be increasing our impact. All right, another thing that I'm seeing happen way too often is over reliance on automation, okay? Like automating check-ins, automating touch points, automating engagement, and thinking that automation is what is actually going to equal scale. And what that actually creates, by the way, is distance. Like, customers do not feel understood, they do not feel heard, they feel like a process and a step in a process. And as much as AI is there and as much as AI is going to help us and support us in our roles, we buy and sell from humans. Even though we work in a tech world and even though we have software all around us, we buy and sell from humans. And if all we're doing is creating AI processes and overdoing it with our customer and thinking that automating every single step of the customer journey is going to help, it's probably actually going to hinder more than help you. And the other part that I see that people are doing is they end up avoiding the hard part of the job because AI is handling all of the easy stuff, or what I think is administrative easy stuff. And what's happening is customer success managers are doubling down on comfort. They're like, oh my gosh, AI is doing all this. I have all this free time and it's great. And I see a lot of people almost taking their foot off the gas when it comes to strategic value. And instead of stepping into strategy, instead of leading business conversations, instead of challenging your customers, there's a gap that's happening. And we're ending up causing more and more of a gap because we're relying on AI. And the final thing that I'll say that I'm seeing way too much of, and I hope that we all realize that AI isn't the be all end all. And I'm seeing too many customer success professionals almost outsource their brain to AI. Now, I use AI every single day. I don't think an hour goes by in my waking hours where AI isn't a part of everything I do. But please know that AI doesn't have lived-in experiences. AI is only going to be very agreeable with you. At least mine is. Mine just says all the hype, nice things to me. And the third thing I will say is that check your sources, because AI can spit out a lot of stuff, but is it reputable? Is it actually the right thing? It might be. It very well might be. But I hate that I keep seeing people outsourcing their brain, outsourcing their critical thinking skills to AI, because AI is supposed to give you more time back in your day. And I hope that you're realizing as you listen to the podcast, like, with all this free time, what does a strong customer success manager look like in an AI-driven world? Well, let's break that down into two parts. First is, what is AI taking off of your plate? Like, what is it expecting you to step into? All right. First, what is it taking away? Like, it's taking away admin work, emails, follow-ups, call notes, summaries, putting things into your CRM. It's taking away the basic health scoring and alerts, and all of that is becoming automated, which is actually really, really good thing. I'm so happy because there was so much time that we were spending in follow-up automation, keeping our CRM clean, and it was just not good use of our time. And because it gives you this time back, now the real question is, what are you doing with that time? Because this is where new CSM skill stack comes in, or at least what I consider the new CSM skill stack in 2026. And skill number one is outcome design. You need to be able to define what success looks like for your customer, not just adoption, not just usage. real business outcomes and build a plan to get you there. And skill number 2 is executive communication. You need to speak the language of decision makers, revenue, efficiency, and risk. That is what executives care about. They do not care about features, they do not care about tasks, and they sure as heck, by the way, do not care about your status updates or your product updates or your value calls summaries that you're sending them. Because AI can do all of that. When they have a call with you, they don't want any of that because they know AI can summarize all of that for you. So your value is what you say in that call. So remember that. All right, skill number 3 is revenue thinking. So you need to really understand how to protect and grow revenue inside of your accounts. Like, where is the risk? Where is the opportunity? What is the expansion path? Because AI can give you data. It can even analyze the data for you, but it cannot build a strategy. Okay? Some people might be arguing and saying, oh my gosh, yes, it can. But it can only build a strategy if you prompt it to build a strategy based on the critical thinking that you need to know based on the data it gives you. And here's a line I really want you to sit with, okay? If AI can do your job was never strategic to begin with, okay? Again, I will say it. If you feel that AI can do your job was never truly strategic to begin with. And I really like to think about this like a calculator, honestly. So when calculators, they first came out, people thought that having these small little powerful machines would replace mathematicians. And it did not, by the way, but it did replace basic arithmetic. And it elevated the people who could actually think. The same thing, by the way, it's happening in customer success. I'll give you another example. I don't know if you guys remember this, and this might be me aging myself, but when I opened a bank account, I actually had to go into a bank and speak to someone. And I also had to actually go and give them my debit card or at least my account information. And then they gave me cash or they made the changes within my account, right? That's how banking used to look before an ATM or before online banking. And now we have online banking and we have ATMs. We barely even talk to tellers. But did those tellers actually lose all their jobs? Sure, maybe some because they didn't strategically step into a different role. But what ATMs and online banking did is it elevated people who could actually think because they were no longer doing process-driven work. So all of this being said, AI is your calculator. AI is your ATM, okay? It handles all the mechanics. But it also exposes whether you understand the bigger picture in business and the bigger picture in customer success. All right, we're going to jump into our weekly challenge. And I love solo episodes because I want to challenge you guys. I want you to step up and realize that you are better than AI. You have the strategic ability to really be a strategic partner to your customers. Now, if you're listening to this podcast and you're either on a run, on a walk, at the gym, cleaning your house, driving, basically listening passively, that's great. I love that you're listening. But this next part of the podcast is a challenge, and I want you to take it away and actually do it. So if you want to have this challenge in your email inbox, I actually put the weekly podcast challenges into my weekly newsletter. So if you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and go to newsletter.thecustomersuccesspro.com. I will link it in the show notes because what I want you to do is take things away from this podcast and go and try and do it. Because listening to this podcast, it's not serving you. I'm sorry. I love that you're listening to it, but I am a tactical and practical coach, and I want to hold you accountable to all of the minutes and hours you have spent listening to this podcast. So I want you to go away and take on this weekly challenge. So that being said, here is your challenge for this week. I want you to take one task that you currently do manually, and I want you to ask yourself, can AI do it faster? And if the answer is yes, automate it, okay? Let AI do it. Please stop doing it. It's not worth your time. Then take that time you get back and reinvest it into one strategic conversation with a customer. where you focus purely on their business goals, their biggest challenges, and where you can drive more impact in their business. Because that is where your value actually lives. And that is how you beat AI in the world of where AI is going to replace all our jobs. All right, let's bring this all back together. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you realize that AI is not replacing customer success, but it is raising the bar. And I know the bar is already extremely high in customer success, but it's moving up. It is removing all of the busy work, and it's exposing the real question, which is, are you operating like an administrator, or are you a strategic revenue driver? Because the future of customer success is not someone who manages accounts. They are a part strategist, they are part revenue driver, they are part AI operator. And if you are listening to this and thinking, I know I need to level up, but I'm not sure how, this is exactly what we work on inside of RevUp Academy, where we can help you build the commercial, strategic, and communication skills you need to stand out in this new AI world. So if you're ready to stop being replaceable and actually be a strategic revenue driving customer success pro and start being indispensable to your company, then check out the link in the show notes or head over to thecustomersuccesspro.com/rev up. And if this episode made you think a little differently, if it made you question some things within your role, if it made you think my leadership has no idea that they're giving me tasks that AI can do, make sure you share this episode with them, because sharing is caring, and we want to make sure that everyone realizes that AI is not here to replace your job. And if you are following the podcast, I absolutely appreciate you so, so much. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button or that follow button wherever you listen to the podcast. And if you get a chance, could you please just leave a comment down below or a review? I would so, so, so appreciate it. And I just love hearing from every single one of my listeners. I truly read every message. I respond to everything because you guys are the best podcast listeners in the whole world. I truly appreciate it. And if you are watching this on video, thank you so much for tuning in to another week of the Customer Success Pro podcast. And I just want to remind you that this shift in AI, it's already happening. We're already living through it. And I hope that you realize that the ones who adapt are the ones who are going to win. And because you've listened to this podcast, I know you're going to adapt and I know you're going to win. All right, I will catch you next week on the Customer Success Pro podcast. Thanks for tuning in to the Customer Success Pro podcast. I hope you picked up something valuable to take back to your team. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world to me if you took just 10 seconds to leave a review on Apple or Spotify. It helps more CS pros like yourself discover the show. And creating new episodes takes a lot of work, so leaving a nice review keeps me motivated to keep creating. And don't forget to hit subscribe on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcast episodes. I drop a new episode every Wednesday packed with practical tips. And if you've got a topic you'd love for me to cover or want to be a guest on my show, send me a message. All the details are in the show notes. I'd love to hear from you. And hey, if this episode helped you, share it with a fellow CSM or CS leader. Remember, sharing is caring. Cheers to your CS journey, and I'll catch you next week for our next episode.